Creating a composite track, otherwise known as a comp, where you edit together the best parts of several takes into one master take, is a quick process using playlists and Pro Tools. Let's take a look at this session. I've got two guitar tracks up here playing chords, I've got a lead track, and I've got a harmony track. And on this harmony track, I've got 3 recorded playlists. We know that because we're looking at the playlist track view. Instead of the regular waveform that hides the playlists, we'll look at the playlist view. So to get a handle on starting to edit these, I want to actually loop the playback so that I can hear each one of them. So I'm going to go to the play button and right click it and choose loop. So we've got loop playback on, and I'm going to double click with the selector here to highlight this region. Now when we play this back, first we're going to hear the Harmony 1.01 track because it's in the main playlist for this track. And then when we want to switch to the other playlists, we hit the solo button. You can only have one of those lit up at a time. Another way to activate the S button here is to click in a track or make a selection in a track and press Shift S. So if you're working in a track, you can just press Shift S and then you can hear it. So what I'm going to do now is play back the track on loop playback and then cycle through all of the playlists and pick out some pieces that I like so that I can build my comp. Okay, so I've got pieces from each playlist that I want to edit together into the master comp track. So how do we do that? First, I'm going to go over here to the playlist selector and create a duplicate of the current playlist. I'm going to name that Harm Comp. And so what that does is creates a 4th playlist, and it moves the one that was current down one. So now this is the main playlist, and it's a direct duplicate of this first Harm 101 playlist. How do we add pieces to this comp to actually make it a comp? Well, pretty easy. Check this button out. It's the Copy Selection To button, and since I already know that I like this region, I'm going to click this button, and it automatically moves that up to the main playlist. I'm going to do the same for this section. And actually, instead of having to go to this button, I can right click and choose Copy Selection to Main Playlist. And it pops it right up there for me. So that's a pretty easy way to build a comp. There's one more feature that I'm going to tell you about that might help you build comps, especially if you're working with a lot of playlists and you get kind of confused about which performances are best. You can use rating of each of these regions to help you remember which ones are good. So go to View, Region, Rating, and you'll see ratings for each of the regions in here. So I'm going to double click this and actually right click it, and I can rate that right here. And rate a couple more. We know that these ones are good. You can do this while you're playing back and recording as well. If you press all 3 of the modifiers, so on a Mac that would be Control Option Command, and then press a number. So we've got just like this. On a PC, be Start, Alt, Control, and that's how you rate a region. And then if you really want to get fancy, we can right click the track name and filter out any lanes that we don't want if it's a bad rating. So we can filter out everything except the fives. So let's try that out. There you go. Now we only see regions with fives on them, and these are the playlists that have fives on them. So that can really help you filter out when you're looking for the best performances. So this comping process is really slick. Recording to and editing with playlists are part of my usual music production technique, and I strongly encourage you to add these features to your production arsenal as well.